So one of the things I like about Facebook is they have different groups, and in my area they have this. It's usually like a 411 for your area, and I don't know why I didn't think about this before. I should be bringing some of these posts here to TikTok so you guys can see. And here's an example here. And I've done my best to blur out faces and names and stuff. So if anybody recognizes themselves, sorry in advance, but it is kind of public. You can read the terms of service on Facebook. But anyway, as you can see here, it says, I accidentally hit my friend's car and damaged the front bumper. They want to involve insurance. What are the pros cons of insurance or paying out of pocket? She needs a new bumper in search of out of damage repair quote. And I have a couple of screens like these, and I'll switch over to another one because I took screenshots of the whole thing just to kind of add here for comments at the time. But these groups are also fun if you want to get an idea of what your local area is like, because the responses were very mixed in here. Now, as everybody knows, when you go online, be it like Reddit or Facebook, you're going to encounter a lot of negative people, and that's a thing. But the responses on this one in particular were quite fun because like it was a half split. Like half the audience was pretty sure you should just like try to avoid insurance because your rates are going to go up. And then the other half was like, no, it's your friend. It's their choice whether or not you should get to, involve insurance or not. One of the responses at the top there was like only involve insurance if you can't afford to pay it yourself, and other people are like liability won't have a deductible, different things like that. And so I guess my thing is, well, how would you handle this if on both sides, like at both sides? So if you had a friend and they hit your parked car and you need to do bumper, would you want to involve insurance? Do you think you should? I personally, I would involve insurance. I like to follow procedure on things. If you were the person who hit your friend's car and it was a parked car, would you expect them to want to handle it under the table, or would you encourage them to use insurance? What would you do in that situation? Some people later on, and I'm only going to do a couple of these here, I don't want to make this too long. Some people were saying that the only reason the friend is wanting to involve insurance is because they know that person won't pay it and is not reliable, or maybe this happened before. Don't know. I mean, I don't know that much about it, but yeah, I guess that's the question. Like, how would you handle this? What would you do in this case? Somebody did bring up in a later post, there's a clause within insurance policies that requires you to report all accidents and all damage and property damage. And if you don't, and they find out something happened, that it can be a breach of your contract, you can lose your insurance. Somebody else brought up another good point, and this is where I would worry is, what if you were to handle it out of pocket and then they took it to a shop and the shop started to notice other damage? Because I think a lot of us understand that with cars, it's never just one thing, right? It's always more. So anyway, what are your thoughts on this, guys? If you want more of these receipts, let me know. I'm glad to bring up.